Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Turin here with another Warhammer Total War Live BattleCast. In this particular game, in the true spirit of competition, I'm going to play the Warriors of Chaos against the Dwarves. So I'm actually going to get Kolek. He's always fun, has armor piercing, and is big and scary. So who doesn't like that? So we're going to get a Chaos Sorcerer with the Lure of Fire. And it looks like my opponent already picked, so I got to step up my game, guys. We're going to get a Manticore, just have a little bit of mobility. The Blasted Standard isn't terrible for the missile parry, so we're going to go ahead and get that. And then we want to get some Chaos Warriors with great weapons. Again, a very, very cost-effective choice in my opinion. We'll actually get 5 of those guys. Let's get a Hell Cannon, have some fun with that. We'll get 2 groups of Marauder Horsemen to deal with Gyrocopters. Hopefully that's enough, and especially when you are fielding a unit like Kolek, you will need that type of protection. So, and also I do have the Manticore, so hopefully those 3 units can deal with most of those harasses. Let's go ahead and get a group of Chaos Knights with Lances, and gosh, I feel like I need more units. So I do have the armor piercing here, here, and here. I just feel like I need more infantry in general, so go ahead and get rid of that, and let's get rid of his Foe Seeker, which will allow me to get 2 Chaos Marauders. So okay, so now I have a little bit more density, more diversity in my army, but darn, I can't quite spend that extra 15 resources here, so we'll see. As far as Cav go with Chaos, I do like the Lance equivalent against the Dwarfs because more often than not, you're not going to be in there for sustained combat with Slayers and those type of units in the back pocket. So I do like the Shock combat variant with the 80 charge bonus I believe they have. So we'll see. And hopefully Kolek can actually ride with them. He's pretty quick. I think Kolek has upwards of 60 move speed. So he's pretty decent as well. So I actually, on this map, I feel like this starting position is very, very good. You have the option of hiding units back here from missile fire. So, for example, if he starts off out here with a bunch of missile units, I could always hide back here if need be. Granted, Chaos does not hide, guys. We are all business here today. So we'll put the Hell Cannon up here, just front and center. This is probably where it'll stay all game. I doubt my opponent will pressure it much. Although, I guess the Gyrocopters could like sit up there, but yeah, anyways, let's not overthink it, guys. So we'll get the Chaos Marauders here. These guys are going to be the front line. They'll probably in all honesty, just gonna take a ton of missile fire and just get routed instantly, but we'll see how it goes. Sometimes I like to bring, the shielded version against the Dwarfs, but once they're in combat, the armor piercing is just such a valuable stat. It's hard to kind of go with any other option in my opinion. So go ahead and lock this formation here. We can put, I don't know, do I want to put Kolek with the main army? I guess we can, and we can just like fan him out depending on the circumstances. We'll put these guys in group 2. This is going to be the Gyrocopter hunting squad here. And put our Exalted Hero. Yeah, he can stay with the army too. That's totally fine. So we'll lock him in here. This and this can be group 3. Alright, so we are just about ready to get down to the action, guys. Let's go ahead and put the Knights up here. I don't need to hide or have any tomfoolery against the Dwarves. We'll just have a good old faction boxing match here and see how it comes out. I do have some Dwarves myself. They have their little fangs going on and their studded beards. Definitely not as cool as the traditional Dwarves, but they try. It'd be interesting if they added like Chaos Dwarves faction someday. See how that panned out. Could be very cool. I've never actually taken the time to look at how truly disgusting these things are. Always a good time for all. And I do promise, guys, one of these days I will do the manual aiming. But I'm so I have such an aversion to it because I get anxiety if I take my eyes off the battlefield. It just stresses me out not knowing, if some unit from Vanguard is coming out. But I suppose against the Dwarves, that's the one faction you can get away with it on, right? So it looks like he has some IRONDRAKEs. Whoa. Okay, so he's got some Slayers. A pretty decent army. It looks like he has armor piercing and a mixture of Dwarf Warriors to deal with charges and those type of things. So, alright. So, looks like we're in for a good game. And no Gyrocopters, so that kind of does hurt a little bit. Because I did invest in these Marauder Horsemen. And, a nice contact right in the center there. It looks like he does have High King Thorgrim as well. So, let's see what missile troops he has while we're at it. So, it doesn't look like he has a lot of missile troops. But those IRONDRAKEs actually will do really good against my Marauder Horsemen. Who are a very lightly armored, kind of weak unit. Oh, yeah. Look at that nice contact in there. Taking out a few of those Slayers. So we'll just continue to march. I am going to take some blasting charges, I'm sure, but we're going to have to be pretty conservative here, guys. Kolek is going to be pretty scary for my opponent. If I can get him on King Thorgrim in a relatively safe formation, look at the damage. I'm already getting some huge, huge value from that. So we'll go ahead and swing these guys just around here, and we'll get our Knights over here. And, charging against Slayers actually wouldn't be bad, but I just have to make sure not to stand in the sustained combat with them. So how do we want to throw some axes at these guys? I just have to really keep my eyes on this guy, so we'll go ahead and fan out here and here. That is fine. We'll go here, here, and here. That should be fine. So these guys are getting some decent damage here. I'm going to pull these guys around here, and look at that flame damage. That's so cool. I actually hope my opponent does good with the flaming the flame cannon version here. So we'll go ahead and put him here, and Kolek's going right for the king, guys. He has no shame. So we'll go here, put these Marauder Horsemen. Got to make sure to pull them back, put them in skirmish mode. That usually just kind of solves your problem for you, to be honest. So Kolek is just going to absolutely punish King Thorgrim if he lets him stay. It's going to be a bad day at Blackrock for him. So we're going to get a little bit of a rear charge here on my opponent with these knights with lances. And so far, these guys are actually doing pretty good. So let's pull them over here. And against Kolek, not against Kolek, but as Kolek, don't forget to use your lightning ability. It's quite strong, so we'll use it over there on that big cluster group of units. And you can see Kolek back here just causing terror. So I'm engaged now, and I want to pull these Chaos Knights out. Want to have Kolek hitting the High King. That's definitely one of the more optimal targets here, but I'm going to let him get another swing or two, and then I'm actually going to pull him out because he kind of is behind enemy lines, and definitely not what I want. So we'll go ahead and get this Manticore here. And the Manticore I can probably put on some of these Iron Drakes here. I think he has some in the pocket. And now these guys are here, so we'll pull them here and put these guys right here. Look at all the satchel charges he's throwing. So we'll get Kolek out in the wings here, and it looks like the Hell Cannon's still continuing to shoot and generate some good value. Get the Chaos Knights out. They are taking a beating, so that's definitely not a good time. So these guys are getting some decent throws on the wings here, and Kolek, of course, is able to rout off, it looks like, or at least terrify those Dwarf Warriors. Longbeards and those other units have pretty good, I believe they're immune to psychology and those type of things, but Kolek is not. So looks like the poor Exalted Hero did kind of get wrapped up here. Make sure to move those troops up. What are these guys? So yeah, these guys. Oh, I thought that other group got completely eradicated. So they're getting some good throwing axes in here, guys. I can't complain. So Kolek is safe and sound. We're going to pull him back in here and just continue to support my troops on the periphery. I'm going to use the Cascading Fire Cloak here, which will give me some nice armor piercing, and we'll use the Flaming Sword of Ruin. I really want that to hit Kolek. You can see he just runs through those dwarves here. We're going to start to collapse on my opponent here in the center, and oh man, you can see that Hell Cannon is just surprisingly accurate today, guys. I'm very happy about that. So Kolek here just continuing to put in some good work. Can't complain. Man, his weapon strength must be so high right now. Yeah, 546, man, that is heavy duty. So this is actually a good opportunity for Kolek to go over here and take out these isolated units. And Kolek is very, very good at just pathing through enemy units, so you can see him riding through here. So use that leadership buff before he gets out. And let's go ahead and check for routing units. Looks like my Marauder Horsemen are just having a great time right now. And he is roasting some of my units here, so come on, Kolek, get back there. What are you doing? Quit messing around. And he is very like tight and wound right here, so I'm going to go ahead and use all of my my lightning ability here. But the problem is with King Thorgrim and those type of situations, like when he's in a tight pocket like this, it's actually very, very cost effective for him because the buffs are going to be hitting everyone. So I'm going to pull Kolek back into the main battle. I feel like he's more needed over there, and hopefully it'll do well for me. But it looks like my opponent is actually starting to wear through a lot of my troops here. So do I have much left here at all? I don't know if I do, guys. Oh man, I better get out of here with Kolek. I don't want any of that. So let's go ahead and reform up here on the hill and continue to have my Marauder Horsemen harassing. Again, I should probably have them deal with these like lowly units here. So let's go ahead and get these guys out here, these guys out here, get this Exalted Hero back from route. Oops, sorry about that, guys. And it looks like I do have some kind of dumpster tier infantry as well. So let's go ahead and reform those guys up on the hill. Kolek's going to be very hard to catch for my opponent, but you can see my opponent has mostly a few groups of tattered units here. So we'll pull some Marauder Horsemen over, and he's using the Rune of Wrath and Rune really well, actually. So that's doing well for my opponent. Oh, look at that. That Hell Cannon is just doing some great work, guys. All right, so let's reform here. We don't want him to get to that Hell Cannon, so we're going to go ahead and engage whatever troops I have. We'll use this here, and let's go ahead and engage. All right, so we'll get all these guys in here, and these Marauders coming back is actually going to be quite nice. So we're going to put Kolek on the High King there. Hopefully he can slay the king. We'll find out here in a moment. We'll use the Flaming Sword of Rune and the Cascading Fire Cloak, which is going to make him an absolute force to be reckoned with. And I do have some troops coming back here as well. All right, so the Manticore's in here, and it looks like my opponent did kill the Manticore. My Cav did come back from route, so I'm going to use it to chase down these units kind of in the wings here. And it looks like my Marauder Horsemen are actually out of ammunition, so I'm just going to have them start charging here. But hopefully Kolek can slay the king. It's going to be a very, very important factor here. And let's use these guys to chase out those Iron Drakes. Man, we're doing a great job here. This is a close battle, actually. Man, very well played on my opponent's part. I always like the Chaos vs. Dwarves matchup. It's always a pretty good time. So continue to go in here. Really need to finish that guy off, but thankfully these Chaos Knights did come back just in the nick of time. Use them to continue to chase down these units. So if it does come to like a really atrocious fight, I might use that different leadership buff. And is there any units I want to Lightning Storm here? To be honest, I could just use it right here, but I don't want to hit my own units right now. So this Hell Cannon is still just firing, guys. Got to get that High King down. Very, very important here. And it looks like my Chaos Knights were able to finish off some of these units. So let's go ahead and bring them into the main fight. And hopefully their big charge bonus is able to finish off the king. Come on, Kolek, get in there. Let's see the hammer. Hammer time. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's my boy. You're my boy, Blue. All right, let's get the Exalted Hero back and pull him in here. And so far, so good. And looks like the Hell Cannon, I always forget to use that buff, guys, the boom. And at this point, I think a lot of these units will probably rout off. It's hard to say. Yeah, I'm going to pull Kolek out because he is getting a little bit low. And what I'm going to do is actually group him with my cavalry and just form like a Doom Squad here. And just be my last charge. And we'll start firing into him with these Hell Cannons. And do I have any infantry left? It looks like I do have this Chaos Sorcerer who does not want any part of that right now. So let's go ahead and pull out here. Come on, guys. Reform ranks. What is this? Oh, man, this Hell Cannon is just not having a good time here. All right. I feel like it's that scene in like Lord of the Rings when the Rohirrim are like getting ready to fight the Easterling, the elephant monstrosities, and the Rohirrim are having to reform ranks. All right, so is Kolek coming? I need to time this perfectly. Okay, so it looks like he did use a buff here, so let's actually pull out. He does have that damage resist, so we'll just wait for that to wear off. All right, come on, come on. You know what? Let's just go in there. Let's not be a dick about it. Oh my God, that Hell Cannon! You need to stop shooting right now. Oh man, Kolek's just gonna smash this frickin' Runesmith right now. We use the Cascading Fire Cloak to just give that huge damage buff, and that should be enough to finish him off. And it looks like he did send a Runesmith up there. But I definitely like the double Runesmith build, guys. I feel like it's pretty strong, just, you know, in dealing with Cav and those type of things. It just does really good, like, you know, perpetual damage over the course of a battle. So looks like everything is shattered now. So really well played on my opponent's part. That was a great game, a lot of fun. I'm trying to wonder why. Oh, of course, there's a Slayer in here. Slayers are such a cool unit. And I can't wait to see what they bring in, some of these new DLCs for the Dwarves and for Chaos. And to be honest, those are probably my two favorite factions to play. I just wish they were a little bit stronger. So come on, Kolek, finish that Slayer off. There you go. So let's go ahead and take a look at the breakdown, guys. So yeah, the Chaos Warriors with great weapons, just a very, very cost-effective choice against the Dwarves. And even these Chaos Marauders, 44 kills against the Dwarves is nothing to sneeze at, but these guys got just run over. And yeah, my opponent played really well. He brought Irondrakes, which is a very, very risky play. But it actually did pretty good in cutting through my low-tier infantry in the front. And I can't speak to their effectiveness, but I think they were shooting at Kolek for a while. They did take some really mean charges, but yeah, I don't know. If he had probably brought, you know, the Irondrakes with the Trollhammer torpedoes, I think he would have been better off. He probably could have, like, at least nuked Kolek before he got in there. But again, I don't really know what I'm talking about. The Slayers, they did pretty well for him. The two double Runesmith and High King Thorgrim was pretty good. If you're going to bring an army as the Dwarfs with Dwarf Warriors and you know, as a Dwarf Warrior primarily centric army, you're not bringing Longbeards. Thorgrim is a really good choice because he provides that kind of universal buff to all of them with the Book of Grudges. That makes him much more cost effective. You get a lot more bang for your buck. So again, the Marauder Horsemen were not a great investment for me, though they did rack up a lot of kills. When they don't bring Gyrocopters, they're definitely not as good. So that was definitely tough, but thankfully they ended up doing okay. The Chaos Knights with Lances did okay, but my opponent did a very good job using his Slayers to take them down. So at the end of the day, great game to my opponent. Rince Wind. I thought it was Rice Wind for a while, but anyways, great game. I look forward to seeing you get on ladder, and I hope you guys enjoyed that Chaos Battlecast. Have an excellent night, and take care.